Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Hummel. Here's what's coming up next on Acadiana's News Channel at 5.
4 Acadiana men are among the 12 missing after that boat capsized in Port Fourchon. I'm Marcel Fontenot. Live team coverage coming up, including a message from the wife of one of the missing.
Plus, we'll also have the latest on the search for missing LSU student and Opelousas native Corby, who's been missing now for more than a week. Let's get a check of the forecast now with meteorologist Bradley Benoit. Hey, Bradley.
Hey, Jim. Well, still scattered showers lurking around the area early this evening. Should start to wind down a little bit later on this evening, but then rain chances ramping right back up going into tomorrow morning and then staying unsettled throughout the rest of the week. Full weather details are coming up.
This is just some of the great stuff for this Saturday's Rummage for a Reason. We'll talk to some of the nonprofits. Nonprofits coming together, all for the greater good. That story in tonight's Spirit of Acadiana.
On the air and streaming live on your favorite device, this is KATC TV3, Acadiana's News Channel at 5.
And good evening, everyone. We start tonight with the search in the Gulf for 12 people missing after their lift boat capsized near Port Fourchon.
At least 4 of those men from right here in Acadiana. Tonight we are live at a Frugal office here in Lafayette. We know this is one of the employers of the men. We also know at least one person was employed by Seacor Marine. That is also the company that owned the vessel. They were all aboard. The Seacor Power was the name of that vessel. Right now the Coast Guard continues to look for any survivors. So far, 6 men have been rescued safely and 1 body has been recovered. Here's the background. The vessel capsized yesterday about 8 miles south of Port Fourchon. They sent out a distress call at around 4:30, and at that time it went down. The Coast Guard says there were 80 to 90 mile-an-hour winds and seas were 7 to 9 feet. The vessel was on its way to Main Pass with 19 crew members on board. You're looking at video sent to KATC from Simon Bruce, who was in the area at the time. This gives us an idea of the kind of conditions the crew on board the Seacor Power were dealing with at the time it went down. We have continuing team coverage for you tonight. First up, our Katie Easter speaking with family members of those who are still missing tonight. Our meteorologist Bradley Benoit is digging deeper into the weather conditions and what they were like at the time that vessel capsized. Kendria LaFleur is speaking to experts about the training needed to survive in water. As we've mentioned, KATC has confirmed at least 4 of the men are from Acadiana who are among the 12 that are missing. Their families identify them for us as Jake Rivera of Lafayette, Gregory Wilcott of Abbeville, Dylan Daspit of Iberia, and Quinan Pete is from the Lawtell area in St. Landry Parish. We know some of the families have been in Port Fourchon since around midnight last night, still waiting for answers. Dylan Daspit's wife, Hannah, sent us this picture with him, his wife, and their 3 children. She also gave us a statement. It reads, "Everyone pray for a miracle. He needs to come home to his family. We can't live without him." So much heartache and pain that these families are feeling tonight, so unimaginable for so many of us. Our Katie Easter also spoke with 2 families. Katie, how are they holding up?
I spoke with the Pete and Walcott families. They say they have no information on their loved ones, and that unknown is the hardest part. Gregory Walcott is from Abbeville. His sisters and niece say they last spoke to him Tuesday before the boat capsized. They tell me they have not slept since they found out.
Like a bomb just exploded and without any, notice. So, yeah, we all just at a state of shock right now.
Quinan Pete is from Church Point. His sister Misty Pete describes a similar feeling.
Like physically sickening, not knowing anything, just waiting. We're all here waiting for him and praying that he's able to make it home to us.
The companies involved are working on reunification efforts for those who were rescued. These families still awaiting answers. Katie Easter, KTC TV3.
Well, for so many companies like Frugro and so many others in our area whose employees work on the water, training is vital. Our Kendria LaFleur joining us live now. And Kendria, you talked to a man today who trains maritime workers. What did he tell you?
The goal here at the Marine Survival Center is to help workers and train them for the worst case scenario when it comes to water. Now, there are 3 stages people will have to face and survive, and it's called the 1-10-1 rule.
We use a factor 1-10-1. And water temperature, we use a number 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. That you'll have 1 minute to get your breathing under control. The 10 is you've got 10 minutes to do something with these, to initiate your escape out of the water. And then the other one is you've got 1 hour before hypothermia, or the cooling of the body starts to set in to survive.
He also says clothing plays a huge factor. It'll help you retain heat, and having a life jacket will also do that and also help you stay afloat so you don't have to burn a lot of energy. Reporting live in Lafayette, Kendria LaFleur, KATC TV3.
Thanks so much, Kendria. Well, we know all of these employees were on board the vessel called the Seacor Power. And let's give you some details about this boat. According to Seacor Marine, it carries 12 crew members and 36 passengers. Now, it can lift itself out of the water on stilts, so to speak, so maintenance work can be done on oil rigs. That's what the boat does. The lift boat has a maximum speed of 4.3 knots, which is about 5 miles per hour. The vessel was built in 2002 and was last inspected in March of last year, March of 2020. That inspection is good for another 4 years. Well, at the time Seacor Power capsized, we know there were 80 to 90 mile-an-hour winds, as we mentioned, and seas were about 7 to 9 feet. We want to know more about these kind of weather conditions that the ship's crew were seeing at the time. That's where we bring in meteorologist Bradley Benoit, who has been looking into the conditions at the time for us. Bradley.
Yeah, Marcel, and the result of those high winds were caused by something that's referred to as a wake low. To illustrate what that looks like, we'll back the radar up to yesterday afternoon. So here's a squall line with showers and storms, and what you'll get right behind that is a smaller area of high pressure forming, and then in a wake low situation, you'll get an area of low pressure to form behind that due to air sinking and warming, and that creates a pressure gradient where air is going to want to flow from that high pressure to the low pressure, and the stronger that gradient, the stronger the winds, and you could see winds 70, 80, upwards to 90 miles per hour, and of course that's nearing hurricane force winds. So when you get those type of winds, that's going to cause those sea heights to elevate as well. So 7 to 9 feet is pretty believable to me. And here's the radar in motion again. We'll say from 3:45 yesterday afternoon to 4:30 as those showers and storms approached southeastern Louisiana out into the Gulf of Mexico, and it was about 8 miles due south of Port Fourchon where that boat capsized again in that event that we call a wake low. So that kind of with the weather conditions that was taking place over southeastern Louisiana going back to yesterday afternoon. Meanwhile, our weather here today, it was another cloudy, dreary one out there with off and on shower activity. Getting a little bit of a break here this evening, but still kind of some misty sprinkles and spots, some heavier downpours off to the north here in northern portions of Acadiana. We'll have a little bit better look at that Doppler coming up in the main weathercast. And here's our 24-hour forecast as we head into our Thursday. I think we'll get a break in the action here. If it's raining in your area, we'll say a little bit later on this evening, but then another disturbance approaches the area as we head into tomorrow morning. So rain chances back on their way up. Should start to taper a little bit going into tomorrow afternoon, but we're going to stay unsettled as we round out the week and head into the first parts of our Saturday morning. We'll talk more about that. Plus, we'll have your additional rainfall totals coming up.
We'll have more updates coming up live on Acadiana's News Channel at 6. But in the meantime, our coverage of this story continues right now on our website. Go to ktc.com/golf search for the latest on the search for these missing men. You know, Jim, so many families right here in our area and across the state just waiting for news about their loved ones, and we all hope it's good news for them this evening.
Yeah,
Jim?
all hoping for the best. All right, Marcel, thanks. The other big story that we continue to follow tonight is working to identify that body that was pulled yesterday from the Mississippi River near Reserve. Now, this is about 50 miles from where missing LSU student and Opelousas native Corby Goche's car was seen at the top of the Mississippi River Bridge in Baton Rouge 1 week ago this morning. Her car was found running on the bridge with her wallet and cell phone inside. We have been in contact with the coroner's office in St. John the Baptist Parish. Once we've learned the identity of the body, we will let you know. Your headlines parish by parish now. In St. Martin Parish, the government has declared a no-wake zone for Lower St. Martin Parish. This includes the Stevensville and Bell River areas. Officials say the water level is high and that boaters traveling at a high rate of speed have the potential to push additional water into the yards and homes along the bayou. And following the no-wake zone, there are road closures as well. In Lower St. Martin Parish, Adele Street, Landry Road, and Edna Street will remain closed until further notice. Officials are warning drivers against going around barricades and driving through any standing water. In Iberia Parish, Week Street in New Iberia will be closed to traffic until further notice from East Dale Street to Harriet Street. New Iberia officials want drivers to watch out for road closure signs and alternate routes and be on the lookout for work crews and their equipment. Lafayette's Downtown Development District is working to build a new park in Parc Sans-Souci. Our Kaylee Norman spoke with downtown leaders about the plans and also what makes this park unique.
Parc Sans-Souci has been a go-to place for people living here in downtown Lafayette. For nearly 20 years now, it's been the place to host events, listen to live music, and take an iconic photo at the Y Lafayette sign. But the Downtown Development Authority believes that something is missing.
We know that the fountain is not on year-round, and the letters are really meant to be a photo opportunity, but we see lots of kids trying to play on them and climb on them, so we see that there's a missing piece in the park, play equipment for kids.
The park will be designed to accommodate children of all ages and children with different abilities. Begno says that they're looking into creating a rubberized surface that will be wheelchair accessible, as well as multiple play equipment that can be used by everyone.
One of the pieces of equipment that we're looking at that we're really excited about is a carousel that can fit a wheelchair, but it also has bench seating around so children can be on the equipment with someone who's in a wheelchair. A parent could sit on the carousel with their child in a wheelchair, or a grandparent.
Katie Colbert is the owner of Wild Child Wines across the street from the park. She's also a mother and lives downtown. She is overjoyed that a new park will be within such close proximity to her and her family.
We have a 2-year-old daughter, and we bring her here a lot because we're here a lot, and we go over to the park a lot because she has a lot of energy, and there's only so much we can do, a 2-year-old can do inside a wine shop. I mean, to actually have a place where she can truly play and play with other kids, you know, because I think it's going to bring a lot of other families down here. It's going to be really fantastic for us.
While the park is geared towards children, Begno hopes that everyone can enjoy the park's future perks.
What's really special about Parc Sans-Souci is it brings the community together. We want to make sure that this playground is going to do the same thing. All ages, all abilities coming together to enjoy play in Parc Sans-Souci.
Construction for the park is set to be done by next spring, but fundraising for the project has already begun. You can contribute by making a donation at our website at KATC.com. Reporting in Lafayette, I'm Kaylee Norman, KATC TV3.
And still ahead right here on Acadiana's News Channel at 5.
This is just some of the great stuff for this Saturday's Rummage for a Reason. We'll talk to some of the nonprofits. Nonprofits coming together, all for the greater good. That story in tonight's Spirit of Acadiana.
But first, Bradley's back with his full forecast. You're watching Acadiana's News Channel at 5.